Okay, hey guys, I hope that you have all the supplies that you need. We have our blender, we have our buttermilk or our yogurt, we have some corn syrup if we need it, we have our washed clean moss, and we have our surface that you're gonna paint on. So this is a different skull than the one that I originally showed you because I painted that one already, and I will show it to you at the end of this video. And I hope you think it looks pretty neat because that'll be what the end product is going to look like. You'll need 2 clumps of moss. Okay, so there's 1 clump, and then here's my other clump. All right, I might as well, I think I'm just going to end up using, I'm just going to use all of it. I think this is all the same kind of moss. Maybe it isn't, but I'll just use my 2 clumps. So what you need to do, since your moss is kind of clean, okay, so see, actually I need to clean this a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Maybe I can just turn this to show you. When you're cleaning your moss, you want to make sure that your water is about room temperature. You don't want it to be super hot. You don't want it to be super cold. Okay? And you can just see I'm just kind of getting the big clumps of stuff out, washing away a lot of that dirt. And your moss will still hold together pretty well, even after washing it. This will also help get any of the debris out that you don't need, anything that's not supposed to be there. Like, see these roots, these white roots. Miss Sancho's gonna talk today. Yeah, pull that stuff out of there. We don't want those roots in there. That's not part of the moss. So get rid of it. Be gone, devil plant. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of squeeze the water out a little bit because you don't want a whole bunch of water mixed in with our paint. Okay, so now that I have my moss, I'm going to take and just pick out the stuff you don't need and just rip it into chunks and throw it right into my blender. Just get some smaller chunks ripped up, toss it in there. This is the fun part. I'm sure mom or dad or whoever is probably cringing watching you throw dirt, mud, and moss into their blender. But you know what? It's all for the sake of art, so it's worth it. Because the blades down at the bottom, down here, you want to make sure that it's pretty loose. Don't stick your hand in there, but make sure it's not packed in, because if it's packed in really tight, you won't be able to turn the blender on. It'll just make this funky like sound like it's broken, because it kind of is, okay? So what we need to do next is we need to add our other ingredients. So if you're going to do, I'm going to do half of each. So I'm going to do 1 cup of plain yogurt. I'm going to do 1 cup of plain yogurt. So I'll just scoop that in. And it's okay if you have flavored yogurt, that's okay. You can do flavored yogurt. It's just the sugar is actually good for the plant, because you can add sugar to your mixture a little bit, not a lot, to help give your plant some extra food to help it grow. But I'm going to be using the corn syrup, so that already has a lot of sugar in it, so I'm not going to add any. Okay, here is my cup of buttermilk. Oh, look how thick it is. It actually looks kind of like paint. Ew. All right. Throw that in. And that in the sink. All right. We're going to do a little cut montage, and we'll fix it up, and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, so I blended up my mixture, and I just want to show you. Look, it's pretty thin. Okay, that's pretty thin. So what I can do is I can add some of this corn syrup to it to thicken it up, and we'll put it into our container with a lid, and we'll see what it looks like then. Okay, we're back, and here is the consistency of my paint. Okay, you know, it'll hold pretty good. I've added some corn syrup in and just mixed it around. So let's take a look. Sorry guys. So there's my paint. Okay, there's the paint, and this is what I'm going to be painting on. Okay, That's what I'm going to be painting on. I already drew with my pencil lines what I wanted to draw and fill in with my paint. Okay, so let's go. Oh, I gotta turn it this way. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so you guys can see here that I am applying some of the paint that I made. I ended up using the original paint that I had made the first time I painted the skull because it was a lot thicker, but and the other stuff was a little runny, so I'm gonna let that sit for a day or two and hopefully some of that water evaporates. So you can just see that I'm placing the moss paint in different places to make a design on my skull. And as you can see, if you mess up, you can always just wipe it away. And it's not so much as painting in the traditional sense as it is just glopping things on until you get it in the shape that you want, okay? So instead of having you guys watch me continue to glop things on, I'll fast forward through this so that you can see the end result, okay? Thanks, guys.
Whoa, it's dried already.